Queen Joy from Agbo Shadow Budget Group. I'm a nurse by profession. I'm a perioperative nurse. I work in the theatre. I want to thank David for broadening our knowledge in decision making, and secondly, need assessment, and most especially the importance of lobbying. Like today it was emphasized. I want to give testimony on what happened in the theatre. Immediately, I was among the people that went to Lagos this last meeting. When I came back, I took some days off. When I came back, there was a problem in the theatre concerning the equipment, because there was renovation last year in the theatre, cost millions of naira, and this resuscitative machine was supposed to be among the things they are supposed to bring, which the government has provided money for. So when I resumed, there was a problem of this resuscitative machine. So we now use the process of this lobbying. We now went to meet somebody who is close to commissioner, that if we don't have this resuscitative machine, we will shut the theatre down. Of which we had meeting in our department. We now shut the theatre down. We are taking only emergency cases. So people, some of my colleagues were worried that how can we do this? I said from the knowledge I just got from the seminar training I went to in Lagos, that we will do something. They said, what are we going to do? I said, one, lobbying. Then the second one, need assessment. Because they said they want to provide AC, although it's needed in the theatre, they want to change the television, the chairs. I said, no. We are doing all these things at the detriment of patients. That we can lose a patient because of this machine. Let us take the machine first before all other things. So we now shut the theatre until they provide this resuscitative machine. So the need assessment, we told them that what we need now is machine. So they said, what are we going to do? I said, let's start lobbying. So we used one of the staff who is close to the commissioner. So we wrote, the person now took the letter to commissioner. Surprisingly for some of my colleagues, the commissioner now invited us for a meeting. So when we got there, we analyzed everything. From what he heard is different from what we told him. So he was so surprised. So we now told him that the theatre was renovated, and this is the extent of what was done. This machine is supposed to be repaired or replaced. So he now said, okay, he has said that we should go and hear from him. When we got to, I now told them that from this lobbying too, because this theatre was renovated, let's now check what was supposed to be done. So we used this lobbying too, we were able to get the budget to see what was supposed to be done in the theatre. So we now saw the budget, we wrote back to the commissioner. He now invited the MD and some of other HODs of the hospital. So when the commissioner got to know of all this, he was so surprised that he personally came to the hospital to investigate. And when he came, actually what he wrote was what he saw. It was not what the contractors told him. So he now said there is no problem. That the issue of the machine, for now, they said a new machine will cost 18 million. That was what the contractor wrote, but he didn't supply. He now said they should repair the new one. He now supplied the consumables and others. So surprisingly to some of my staff, we were waiting for the consumables. All of a sudden they just brought technicians. We were requesting for one, but all the machines in the theatre, they were brought out and they were all repaired. All the consumables were supplied. So they were now so surprised that how were we able to penetrate the commissioner. The next said is through this Ndebumo connection. So for them now, when they see me now, they will say Ndebumo Hospital Management Connection. So for our patients now, we are happy now. We have been able to be taking care of patients with resuscitative machine. We applied for one and they gave us for all the theatres. So it's from this Ndebumo that I've been able to know that before you get anything from government, you have to lobby. You use somebody to get to the grassroots, and when you get the budget, you know what you are supposed to do, and you take your stand. Thank you very much.
The women in Akwa State. Few women went to the work program at Port Harcourt, and they came back and they were encouraged that they want to form a shadow pocket group. And then they made a proposal to the Labour headquarters, and approval was given. So, woman shadow pocket group was established. Then, under gender-based and financing for finance women, they group themselves, they work back up some finances, and they establish a depot, some plots, land, and planted cassava. I want to say that cassava in harvesting. Wow. Then, one group was established at Roland Hall, another at ESC, another at Uyu, another at Aba, and are all here today through the encouragement from Labour Hall. In fact, they have also established a poetry fund which I'm going to show you a picture.
Good afternoon, participants. My name is Deborah Salami. I'm from Oyo State. I said I want to start from what Mr. Yegomi said concerning women being here. It's a beautiful thing that women are here because women are mothers of the nation. If you want any information disseminated to the deep roots, please call women into such gatherings. They have the mouth to share information, and I know they will share it well in the society. And it is the high time that we start mainstreaming gender sensitivity. Women can make more impact in our society. So it is a good thing that Independent is coming up with this program, the Niger Data Budget Monitoring Group. I want maybe something to be done about it, that it won't be regional. I want this to be replicated in other zones, because this is the revolution we are waiting for. Yes, if you want to agree with me, this is a revolution. If we continue to take them, we take them accountable for what they are doing. And every one of us is involved. Gone are the days that we begin to blame our leadership. Let's blame followership now. Where are we when they are passing the budget? We should be involved. Where are we where they are implementing? We should monitor and we evaluate. Thank you very much.
Pauline Ekio. I am coming from Rivers State. I am a retiree. I was working as a social worker before I retired, and particularly with women programs. So when I came in contact with this organization, I've been very glad with the organization, because they are now doing the work that I was doing. That is bringing in women to undertake community development projects on their own. And this enlightenment here, it gladdens my heart that more women are now involved in even planning and budgeting. That has not been before. Has never been before in any community at all, that we are traveling in those days from one community to the other. Women were always at the background. But now, women are on the forefront. I am so glad. So when I attended the first meeting with this organization, it was a one-day program. And when I went back, I decided to still follow up what I was doing. I went to my mother's village. They have been building a town hall project for some years. I said, let us now follow this way. So they were able to meet a member of the House of Assembly in Bayelsa State, and that man has helped them. Today, the town hall has been completed.
In this occasion today, and very much sincerely, I appreciate Dr. George here for this wonderful event. I I started with him as at 2006 when he came for budget monitoring in my locality. And as at then, I was the youth leader of that age. Well, let me not take much of our time. What we did yesterday as budget monitoring and evaluation, I believe in my little knowledge and the understanding, I have been involved with budget study since 1997. I studied accounting, and by the special grace of God to second degree. And you know, budgeting and the taxation is always our priority. But there is one knowledge I acquired from this program last year, approximately last year. No, above last year. That was August last year. We were here, and Dr. Jogi gave lecture on this budgeting. I tried to capture what I could not capture all through my studies in higher institution. And what is that? I was moved yesterday, knowing too well that most of us here does not have knowledge of budgeting. I have to allow the law to do the needful. Because if you wish, you know, allow others to understand. I have to be moved. But surprisingly, what I always discuss with him through phone, that, Oga, you have given me knowledge that I cannot forget in life. He came up with it when he wanted to do the closing remark. And he knows that I was supposed to speak that yesterday, but knowing too well that I want to allow others to have their way. And that is nothing but budgeting for the family. Budgeting for the family. No matter what, no matter the kind of lectures and the events, whatever I have undergone, that lecture he gave last year gave me a very high inspiration. Most of us, by our native law and tradition, we don't see girl or female folk to be too important. We render our daughters almost useless in the hand of their husband based on who could not make budget for them. But by this event last year, immediately I get home, I sat my wife down and told her that I have gotten knowledge that can never go out of me. And when I told her, she said, in fact, this lecture is too much. So I feel what we are doing here is very necessary to we mothers and fathers, and wish that we should keep it up and have it at back of our mind that this is very, very educative. Thank you and God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, another experience.
It was during Doc's presentation on M1E, when he said something on the wisdom on goals and objectives. He said that the results must be specific, measurable, appropriate, realistic, and time-bound. So, going by what he said, and I realized when we were giving reports on our testimonies, the facilitator said that we should not report more than we've achieved so far. So, for me, I knew it, but my capacity was strengthened. Then equally, when he said something on where your eyes must be, on the indicators that your eyes must be on good, bad, and caution. So moving forward, when we implement our programs, we are not just measuring the results, we are measuring the process, we are measuring those. We need to review before and after our programs. That was my learning yesterday, my takeaway. Thank you very much.
My name is Emily, coming from Family Fiscal, Asuta Shadow Bodies. I learned about yesterday. I learned about influencing. I learned about there are those things that block the influencing, like religion and culture. I learned about budgeting. Some of us, we don't budget. We just pick something at random. So I've learned a lot. I learned about a community-based need assessment. You don't have to go to a community and start doing something that is not a benefit to that community. I've learned so much. I learned about even the monitoring. One thing is to establish a thing. Another thing is for you to monitor and see whether that thing is good or not. So I really thank them because it was because of their help. They help us, they support us to hire a land and plant water leaf, pumpkin leaf and cassava. Then our farm is the best around the people around us because we have applied the wisdom and the knowledge they imparted onto us. So I really thank them for what they have done in our life. They make us to be independent and not a parasite. They make the woman to have a sense of belonging. I have seen what the woman have been imparted to us. So may God continue to bless them in Jesus' name.
Amen. On needs assessment, we were exposed, enlightened, taught on needs assessment. So I went to my local government chairman, who happened to be from my own community, and I don't need to observe much protocol to meet him, and I interviewed him. We had a discussion. Please, what are your prospects? What are your plans for this community? Because my community has been lacking behind, as if there has not been allocation for us all these years. So I sat him down and we had a little discussion, which he told me that he wants to do a gutter for erosion. Meanwhile, my community, we don't have water, we don't have light, we don't have the basic amenities. So I try to enlighten him on needs assessment. That you not just go and start what you may not finish or what may not solve the immediate problem at the moment. So we now sat down and highlighted the major things that the local people will enrich from. And I'm happy to say that they've started the water reservation program in my village. Thank you so much.
Justice and Governance Platform, Anambra State. We started our work by embarking on a journey to conduct a research in the informal sector to know actually what people are paying, the kind of experiences they are having as a result of paying people, those mobs that weren't trained enough to generate or recover taxation from the tax levies and rates. So, based on our engagement so far with ToC as our new manager, and what we did previously with CSLA, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, we had an advocacy visit with the chairman, Board of Internally Generated Revenue, where we were suggesting that they should come up with an account number where people will pay directly to government profiles. So as a result of that advocacy visit that led to government coming up with what we call ANSEED. ANSEED now is an identification number of all Nigerians, whether young or old. You have an identification number, you pay, whatever you're paying right now, you must pay with your ANSEED number. That is what is currently going on in Anambra State right now. Government is using it to at least be able to gather and know what they have. That is as an avenue to know what they can generate at the end of the year. Because during our advocacy, we expose them to so many things that is going on that equally made the commissioner to step up by going to Onisha main market to really find out what is going on. He found out that these people are making millions in that money, which is not coming to government cover. So for them, they were like, what do we do to restructure the jobs? We really need to restructure the jobs. That leads to Anambra State having an ANSEED number, and it's working currently. And people are not comfortable because it's not easy to pay tax, levies, and rates. So it's as a result of our advocacy visit. We equally suggested to them, even during our radio program, that they should find a way of mobilizing all those mobs that are collecting this money by force from people. If they have the skills to generate this, make more money for their personal gain, the government can as well mobilize them, empower them, pay them as ad hoc staff. And this is currently going on in the major markets of Anambra State right now. Government is now paying them. They are now on payroll, so they are now working for government. These are the things we contributed. Equally in Anambra State, they have this ongoing radio program. We support, we give them technical support, because when we embark on that journey of advocacy, the channel was like, wow, you people are doing this kind of thing. We have an ongoing radio program because ABS is owing us for years. Can we have an airtime where you will come in, educate the masses, so that they will hear it from you, the tax justice members. Let them hear it from you, encouraging citizens to pay. When they pay, they should hold government accountable. And we started the radio program. That's why in Anambra State now, we in our platform, we have, it's a loose coalition of artisans, CSOs, grassroots network, media. So the benefit, we are now using the strength of our media by doing pro bono services. What we just do is to give them PR, like we had our trainings this recently. The whole programs we had came out, they covered it, the print media, they covered it, and we didn't pay them for covering those programs. So because they are members of the platform, but I have the newspaper publications and I came with it. So these are the newspaper publications of what we've done. This one, they say that the vanguard for fair taxation, JDPC with tax justice, urge government agents. Then this other one is encouraging taxation in informal sector by tax justice and governance platform Anambra. So these are the kind of things we are doing. We don't pay the media. They do it because we see that when this man was facilitating today, he talked about government buy-in. For us, government bought in the idea of tax justice and governance platform. So that is why we are not having any challenges implementing.
I'm the planning officer there at the local government of our local government. They invited the chairman, the deputy chairman, the legislator. Unfortunately, the chairman has an appointment to attend other programs. So the leader of the house was present. So after everything, so it helped me a lot in doing my work as he was there. So when we were about to start the new budget process in around September, so I brought my proposal, the need to do need assessment in the budget preparation. So it made the work easier for me. We called all the councillors so that they will bring all the proposals. I went to the local government, their communities in the local government there. So we gathered the whole needs of the community in various communities there. So after we prioritized everything, presented it to the chairman. That is what the people need that we are going to plan in this 2019 budget. So the chairman accepted the whole thing. We put it in place. So after that, during implementation, he gave all the councillors their constituency projects so that they can go to their community and do the impact. Like some of them say they need, most of the hospital is made building. So nothing inside, no drugs, no anything for maternity, all those things. So the chairman provided all the necessary things. So he worked for us. So that is it. So
I've been so inspired and motivated that I've been able to work and volunteer for other organizations. There's a program also working with the Female and More Project, where we're going to donate books to young girls in secondary school to inspire them into leadership, development, management, and other areas of life. And also I've been able to nominate a school because there's a project. The project is called Hanging Libraries of Nigeria. So I've been able to nominate a school for that project where they will get copies of textbooks so that we can revive the reading standards of education, because here in Nigeria we have very poor education system.
It's the fact that I have so many things to share with us. You know, when you sow sparingly, you reap what? Small. And when you now sow abundantly, what will you do? You reap plenty now. So the basket is so full now, so I don't know where to start. Whether to start from the area of policy or to start from the area of tax No. Whether to start from the area of advocacy that has yielded series of reports and outcome for our people. But let me start from the tax for service. In one of our local governments, named Ijebu North local government, we had a kind of dialogue, community outreach with our people. Specifically, people that, the bushermen, the people that are working at the abattoir, we met with them, and they told us, they complained to us, that the governments are just collecting their money without providing any social amenities for them. We discovered it and we took it up upon ourselves. That is something that we can work on through advocacy, together challenge, solve for them. So we intervened, we met with them. They told us they've been paying 800 naira per one cow. And in Ijebu North, they are the one that supply Lagos State and some local governments in Ogun State. So they pay 800 per cow and they kill as much as 100 cows per day. And government is not doing anything for them. The road is very bad. There is no pipe on water. They have been known to be buying water, which they use in slaughtering their cows. So we intervened, we met with the chairman. The chairman then was Aliaji Moji Ekelojumat. And he's someone that came from the private sector. He reasoned with us. We now suggested a kind of tax for service arrangement with him. That's it. Out of the money these people are paying, can you use the money to provide social amenities for them? The man laughed. He told us that the money they are paying is not sufficient to cater for those needs. But as a private person, as someone that has interest in our platform, he will support us because he has been attending some of our programs even as a facilitator. He now said we shouldn't worry, that he's going to even add government money to provide these social amenities for them. That is, it's even the duty of the government to cater for their needs. So we took it up. We met with the chairman and the Association of Slaughtering Association in the Japanese local government. We provide a kind of platform which they interface with the chairman of the local government, and we agree that they should be paying that money that is going to provide piping water for them. And the road, we might not tie it, but it's going to make it more tolerable for them. They agree, and these people willingly, they were paying. But you know when money enters government's pocket, to come out is another one. But thank God we have our insiders there. So he used to hint us, and that is what we call monitoring. When we notice that they want to touch that money, because they gave a kind of separate account for the money that was coming in from the bushermen. So we used to say, Oga Chairman, don't do this, don't do that, and I said we should not worry. But eventually, the guy provided pipe-on water for the bushermen. In addition, we graded the road. And by doing that, the business started booming. Those people that have been, they started making more profit. Because the running costs they've been incurring in buying water, which is quite expensive, that one stopped. It added to their profit. And they were making more money. And they are even happy to pay the tax which the government is asking from them. The implication of that is even widening the tax rate for the government. And I'm sure even by now the money they are realizing from it is even better for what they were getting from them before the provision of social amenities. Because there will be willingness from the taxpayer to pay tax because they are enjoying the facilities. That is on the area of tax for service. Let me talk about the area of tax harmonization bill. As a follow-up to some of our advocacy, people complain of multiple taxation, double taxation, tax injustice. This multiple taxation is not just coming from one area, because it comes from both the local government the state government, and of course the federal government. For clarity of purpose, let me share an example of Hotelia. Hotelia will pay tenement fees to the local government. They will pay signage to the state. They will pay business premises permit to the state. The federal inland revenue, they will come, they will still collect it. Most of the hotels, they said liquor. The local government people will still come, they will collect liquor license from them. Most of some hotels too, they will say they extend the area where they are using, they will still collect extension fee from them, and so on and so forth. But we intervene as a platform, we now say, what can we do? But the solution to this is intertwined. Intertwined in the sense that it is not just an entity or an organization that you are going to deal with. You have to deal with the state, you have to deal with the local government, and you have to somehow deal with the federal government. But in actual fact, we identify that the federal government is straightforward. Company income tax. The state collects pay, but apart from the pay, because they want to maximize revenue, they came up with series of levies, series of taxes, series of duties. To the extent that in Ogun State, you can imagine they still pay emission permit fee for vehicles that are moving, we collect tax from them. So we now came around, we now thought what could be the solution to this. Because of the intertwined kind of arrangement that it has to do, then we have to find a way of bringing the state and the local government together and see how we can ameliorate the issue. So we came up with tax harmonization. So when we came up with the idea of tax harmonization, which would be tax harmonization between, harmonizing the tax item from the state and from the local government, so that one single demand notice will contain all the tax items the states are collecting and the local government are collecting, aside from the BE. So this idea, it was a serious issue. It was a serious issue. But to God be the glory, we were able to get it through the executive arm, which became the executive bill, to this legislative arm. The legislative arm, they were working on it. The first reading, second reading, series of advocacy visits. At a point, we now got it to the public hearing level. We mobilized our members, the tax monitors, the stakeholders, our members platform. We went to the Ogun State House of Assembly. To God be the glory, we met with the speaker and every other stakeholders. We were, even the chairman of the Internal Revenue Service helped us too. So we were able to get the public hearing done. And as God will have it, the former deputy speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Taiwo Odomo, who has been following up with us, is now the speaker of Ogun State. So we believe that by God's grace, we have written a letter to him about 4 weeks ago that we want to see him, but he has been so busy. But we know by God's grace, this new week, by God's grace, we will find a way of tracking him down and seek an audience with him. And hopefully, since it has reached the final stage, we will get it fast. And we will be able to create an enabling environment for the micro, small, medium, and even large-scale organization in the state. To this end, I want to thank them about through Oxfam in their Fund for Development project for supporting us in this cause. They are not just helping us, just as the last speaker taught us, that multiplier effect. That tax harmonization bill, the multiplier effect is going to have on the economy of Ogun State, and even that of Nigeria is immeasurable. To this end, I say thank you.
My name is Amadi Bibian from Enugu Shadow Budget Group. The impact I've gotten from the trainings, with particular reference to monitoring and evaluation, that I have received. I want to talk specifically on that. That topic actually has actually made me to become so passionate for my job. I want to elaborate them more. When I came for the training and I left, the training motivated me to the extent, sorry, I am in the health sector. When I went back to the local government where I am working, I had the mind to go, and because we've been having cases of, high morbidity and mortality rates of, malaria, people dying and, becoming sick from bite of mosquitoes. So it has been giving us some issues, though the office where I man is mobilization. So what I did was, I went back, took my time personally, went for random sampling of people, because if you can recollect, recently mosquito nets were being shared, throughout the nation, and we are still having this high rate, of deaths emanating from malaria. So I decided to look into that critically. I decided to go monitoring. I randomly selected houses. In my local government, we have about 20 wards. I did random selection in all the 20 wards. And incidentally, I got responses, that actually helped us out. I believe that is an aspect of monitoring. So we monitored them and found out that a lot of them weren't making use of the mosquito nets issued to them. If we can recollect, most houses or households were given 2 mosquito nets per each household. So we found out that most of them weren't making use of those mosquito nets. Secondly, we got the information, in fact, from that monitoring and from my evaluation, that a lot of the families didn't even get the mosquito nets. So what I did from that evaluation was that I came back, I had to put up my write-up, route it through the necessary stakeholders, and at the end of the day, I just want to announce to us today that they gave approval to my application, and we actually embarked on the real thing proper. So the mosquito nets came out, and we had to go fill in those areas, and then we carried out mobilization, intensive mobilization. And I want to tell you, from that day, we have been having, from our M&E reports, we have been having a very good report. I think that's my own.
Thank you very much. If you do monitoring
other participants, Anita Hogan is my name. I want to express my gratitude for the opportunity given to the media to participate in such a big gathering like this. I must testify that I've gained enough to make me an efficient worker in my office, especially on the area of developmental indicators, which the director, Dr. George, has told us that there are certain developmental indicators that you should be at the washout in your institution or any projects you are handling, such as which was segmented into good, bad, and caution. And I believe if any, whether it's government organization or private organization or personal organization, if you are at the washout of these indicators, it will give you a point to check that, oh, this thing is not moving well. There is an indicator. I used to wonder sometimes as we are moving on the road, we see a vehicle, one leg has punctured, and at the middle of the road, embarrassing one big man with suit and tie. But that vehicle has given him indications that something is wrong, check it. say, oh, let me postpone till tomorrow. Then in the middle of the highway, that vehicle will be embarrassing. So this has given me a great knowledge that even in the government sector we are working, we have to be at the watchword of certain indicators which shows whether our organization is progressing or is retrogressing. If it's retrogressing, then we have to do something to make sure we stop the retrogression and move the organization forward. So that's my takeaway from this meeting. Thank you so much.
I think I have the greatest testimony here because I'm not just a participant at this gathering, but I am also a staff of Niger Data Budget Monitoring Group, the host organization, and a student under Dr. Anthony George, my boss of many years. I must start here by saying that we learn and thrive well when we have the right leadership. And over the years I've been with my boss, he has been an exceptional leader to me. I used to tell him one-on-one that we are sustained by the quality of his character. I have seen many people, but I have not seen somebody as courageous and bold as he is in taking the government and in what he does. I'm not saying it because he's here, but I've seen it, I've experienced it, and we live with it every day. I also want to thank Oxfam for giving us the opportunity of gathering here year after year. We are here because of the support they gave to us, and we thank them for believing in our organization and believing in our boss. We thank them because they are giving not just us, but many people the opportunity to learn and understand many things that in their lifetime they may never have known. I'm happy to be a part of the learning processes and the growth processes that have been associated between the Oxfam. Because one thing I'm always proud of is the knowledge that I have in the family circle. Naturally, we would think that in Africa, as it has been over the years, that the male are more superior than the women. Yes, traditionally, it may be seen like that. But with my relationship with my boss and the office and Oxfam's training, which I've received over the years, I have learned that I was born equal as a man. And I should be able to demand my rights and bring my role and responsibility as one who was born as such. So now I'm not afraid to tell my dad, you see that land? We have an equal share in it. Not because I want to be a prodigal daughter, but I have learned that a woman and a man should have equal rights and access to all that nature and life provides for. Yes. And I also want to thank my boss for the continuous lecture and the patience he has to manage me as an individual. I have my many flaws, but I thank God and I thank him that over the years he has been consistently teaching me. One thing I will appreciate him for, not just because this is an event harvesting program, is because I used to tell my people that everything I need to know, he has not hidden from me. And that is one thing I need to appreciate him for again. Because over time, he teaches me more than I could expect that with my level of education, I should be exposed with. I'm armed with a lot of knowledge. He has taught us about self-development, self-empowerment. This is what he keeps speaking about every day. There is nobody who comes in contact with my boss who will tell me, you have a wonderful boss, you have somebody to be proud about. Yes, and it's a truth. It's a true fact that I have somebody who was always put on me that you need to develop yourself. The world has gone beyond sitting down in the kitchen. It has moved to an era where a woman should be able to stand up. After all, in America, we see women sitting in parliament, taking decisions. Now it's coming to Nigeria gradually, and I'm proud to be
from Enugu Shadow Project Group. So, as I was saying, I've attended it 3 times. So, but the one that touched me most was the one we had at with Kabeche, with Oxfam. With Oxfam. Then they taught us about this shadow budgeting. That it is important for the women because they are the most marginalized with the youth. So it touched me most. So there I learned that women has rights. That is not like before. they say that women's day should be at the kitchen. That we have to come out as women to change our society. So that one touched me most because I'm one of the women leaders in our community. So something happened in my community. We were having problems in our community. Problem of BG, Igwe, or something, all those things. So we were given a 12-man committee to take care of the community. So they were asked to draw constitution for the community. So when after drawing the constitution, so they didn't involve women at all. They said that in their town hall meeting, that it will only the men that will come into the meeting. So a woman now sued them to court, you know, that they should involve the women. That she has gone through the constitution and nothing like that was mentioned. Nothing like just any issue concerning women was not mentioned in the constitution. So the woman sued them to court. So when the issue was raised in our August meeting conference, so you know, I've been telling you about men and women something. So so because of the training I've gotten here, you know, I was strongly in support of the woman, you know, among those that supported the woman for the action that she took. So after everything, it was resolved. So they now say that in our meetings, that is town hall meeting, that men should be 60%, while the women should be 40%. Because of the
first time of attending the training was in 2016. Scared. I was like, they sent us a message and they said we should come for, you know, somebody we don't know just sent a message that we are going for training. I've never been to Europe by that time. So I thought, you know this person.
We are the back here, we are not
okay. And I was kind of scared about going. I don't know, how are we going to go to Europe? We've never been there. It's not as if it's all of us, the 17 of us, because we have 17 local government. Sorry, I'm also a planning officer. So we have 7 of us as local government planning officers, and it was just the 2 of us, ladies, no men. You know? So, but at the end of the day, we found out that they told him to get women planning officers that were competent. Right? So we were selected to go among the competent ones. So at that time, we were just recruited as planning officers. So we were learning the job because the department used to be a unit under the finance department. So it was upgraded. By the time we came, they recruited us, made us heads of the department, and were training us at that capacity. So the training with them came at the right time. It was strategic. So when we came, I saw financing for development. It caught my attention. Financing for development. So, and the training was on gender-based budgets. And at that time, we also learned IPSAS. Because when we came, we found out that it was just us from Enugu that have started doing IPSAS with our budget. And we're learning it at that time. It was that we were learning period. So by the time we learned that gender-based budget, I went home and I looked at my budget and I was disappointed in myself. I mean, you just say you want to build a school, you want to build toilets, or there was no gender in mind. No vulnerable persons in mind, you know, nothing. It was just like, it was emotionless. The budget was like a piece of paper. It wasn't feasible. So what I did, yes, we have VEC, but VEC also has its own problems. So we at the planning department, we embarked on I call it a mini needs assessment. That was when I went to BB. So I sat and I started thinking, there is no money, but we need to do projects. Yes, they are not paying salaries,
but we need to do projects, things that will affect people's life, not just elephant things, projects. So I met Bibi, I said, what is happening with our health centers? Can you tell me what to do? She mobilized the OICs in the health centers, and they brought out little things that the health centers need. Tanks, placenta pits, little things like that didn't cost money. So I articulated that. I also went to the health department. This is the social sector, which is very important and which affects women the most, women and children. So we gathered those things, we analyzed them and put them in the budget. One particular one that touched me was a local government, was a health center in our local government that had pit toilets. Enugu North is an urban local government. So it's a pity that Enugu North as an urban local government will have a pit toilet in his health center. So I sent someone to take pictures of that. And we went to see, we put it in the budget. I also got someone from that community, a man that was strategic in that community. I set up him with him, he gave me details. That project was done, but it was done by the wife of the governor. Now that is one thing. I learned that you have to do needs assessment, that is very important. It really brings results.
I'm Eyamurike Ugochi, the host of Anambra State Tax Justice and Governance Platform, but I work with Justice Development and Fiscal Tax in every diocese. Yes, we joined the newly as our manager on implementing F4D program. My first encounter and engagement with them was in early days of May 2019. But as a result of our engagement with him that led to JDPC Navy and I be forming member of the state committee on bilateral issue for 2020 project. We've been doing taxation, tax justice, trying to achieve fairness in tax administration in Anambra State. But we've not really mainstreamed tax justice to budget. It was as a part of that program that I had to sit back, I'll ask myself, yes, we've been asking, telling people, educating, mobilizing people to pay tax, but we've not really tied it down to budget, what is being generated, look at the budget documents critically and balance it between the supply and demand side of governance. So because of that training that led to where we are, because we've discussed the budget document, that draft of Anambra State for 2020, we looked at different ministries. We picked ministries that are relevant to what we are doing. So very soon, it's equally going to another stage that we'll be looking at the budget forum where other CSOs will come and make it. But the long and short of it is that we are now part and parcel of Anambra State budget, drafting, formulation, implementation, monitoring, tracking, all of that. All right, another big thing that I observed today, I just whispered to Marita beside me, I was like, I've been looking at the participant that it seems that this organization aims at empowering women, and she said yes. For me, it's a plus. We must say more powers to them more because we know that women in the past we are poorly represented, and we will be glad to see women who stand on their toes, define their rights, and ensure that they work towards achieving their rights. So more power to them. We've achieved a lot. We've sent in our reports. For the last quarter, we've worked with them. So they have our report, both the ones at the magistrate court.
Good afternoon. I really want to thank God the organizers of this program, especially Dr. George. I want to start with my testimony. I hope the drafting committee are taking notes because we are harvesting. So let me bring my harvest first before we harvest from the audience. I knew about this organization not too long ago, and let me go straight to the impact. How has it impacted my life? As your page, I'm the director of monitoring and evaluation. And you know, some of us who were appointed at the same time, we meet at the regional level. I'm not boasting. Like 2 weeks ago, we were in the Sabbath, all of us MDA directors. This program has helped to improve service delivery. So that is the key thing. It has also helped me to meet with key stakeholders. It's iron sharpened iron. So I'm sharpened. Okay, what about okay, let me explain a little. You know, our work is to track budget implementation. So how does it help me? Meeting with the doctor and his group and all attending his programs. In fact, what he gives, sometimes I want to tell you, not available at the first degree level. I've done first degree and so on and so on. So it's not available at the first degree level. Some of those things you go through, you want you first do not see. So if you have seen that, must be you are connected with United Nations organizations. Otherwise, you have to read to masters and PhD level. That is the truth. So don't take it like that. And so we do budget tracking. We do desk review. And we do bill visits. So inputs from here has equipped me. Like when I attended UNICEF program 2 weeks ago, I had to stand up and become like a resource person. I'm not boasting, but the person from Bayelsa said, oh, we are just forming M&E. I said, oh, we have gone a little bit far. Contact with this development partner has really helped in those areas. Then as a ministry, when I came back from the other training, when they talk about open to government partnership, I wrote a memo to the State Executive Council. That memo was deliberated and was noted, and progress is going on. That means there is hope that Oxfam State will sign into the open partnership program as soon as possible. Also, for the first time, we have, as a ministry, have made our capital estimates. So you see, because I came and presented the conditions that we had, that you must prepare your capital estimate on time, present it on time, the governor will sign on time. So because of that, we have, as a ministry, completed our capital estimate. Now with the State Executive Council, then we will go to the House of Assembly. It has never happened like that before. So we have gone far as a state, and for the first time too, I came and I wrote a memo to our community. I said we must produce citizens' budgets, and citizens were invited CSOs, NGOs. We sat down together. So immediately the budget is approved, we will produce a citizens budget. Because there is this, you know, it would have been a very difficult thing for me and doctor to sit down. You know, the cat and dog relationship that used to exist. It's not there. He will call me and when I will send text reply. We relate. You see, this is what I mean. And we are working because of that. The leaders of the CSOs in Akwa Ibom State, they come to my office. And to also tell you that our budget, 2019 budget, is published online. Wow. Go to Ministry of Finance website, is there. Is there. And if you go to the budget office, apart from that, you have the e-copy and the, I don't know about the hard copy, we are now dealing with the e-copy. You come to my office, you get the e-copy. It's now on the public domain. It's not a hidden document again. So it is really impacting. Those are the areas and many other things.
The tax justice issue has been on since 2013, so to speak. And before Ndepmon came, I think this year. And we are in another round of our activities across the state, or across the southern part of Nigeria for this. We have started from somewhere this year. We have been on to this present time. Like I said yesterday, there are shifts in programs, or there are new things that are quite happening as far as the project is concerned. And I think that has given us, those of us who are working on the platform, more opportunity to be more serious and more dedicated and accountable to whatever we do at the level of the platform now, because there are strict monitoring of whatever activities that is taking place. But something happened. Immediately we kickstarted this project, we had our work plan. And the work plan had to do with each of the states. We wanted to meet, as one of the activities, we wanted to meet the chairman of Internal Revenue, the State Internal Revenue Service in my state. We wrote letters for advocacy visits. The first day we wrote letter, they rejected, they didn't reply. The second time we wrote the letter, they didn't reply. I became so furious and I was annoyed. I went to the board to meet probably the chairman and the director. On getting there, they told me that they are having problem in the board. What is the problem? They now said they are looking for ways to reach out to artisans and some other individuals in town who are taxpayers. Artisans, market women, business owners, premises, they are looking for opportunity to bring these people together in a place and discuss some critical issues with them, because our state government has just introduced some new policies in our state. They are looking for a venue to reach out to these people. I say, that is the problem you are having. They say, yes. Give us 15 minutes, we'll get these people for you. They said, is it possible? Okay. Let us see what we'll do. When is the coming of the social because we already had an existing structure. We made the contact. The whole hall was filled up with the market women, the artisans across the local government, across the state government. I mean, the local government areas that they wanted the program to go. Essentially, they invited the CITN from Abuja, and we had an elaborate program that they never even expected, and the capacity, the capacity of the board to mobilize for such lecture. It was an eye-opener for them to know what we were doing. And they were happy. Some of these things open up more opportunity for us to now see what we are doing. So we wanted to meet you. Let us still meet you. Our advocacy still continues. They now fixed a date the following week, and that was last week. When we met with the chairman of the board, we told them, because they had a new chairman who was not part of the activities before, we now told him all what we have done, our advocacy, our sensitization, our research work, all manner of things. the board became, the chairman and his entire team, they were all happy. They started telling us what they are trying to do, their project. In fact, he conducted us around the premises of the board, telling us this and this and this is what they are doing, this and this and this is what is the pipeline for them. And to our surprise, he requested if we could partner with them to have new project done in our state. As a matter of fact, he even told us to level that, is it possible for us to write a proposal so that they can see the possibility of approving the proposal for us so that we can be part of what they are doing. We said that's what we consult our boss in our board before we know the next factor as far as that's concerned.
My name is Deborah Salami. I represent Oyo State Tax Justice Platform. Well, we have our work plan to follow, and in our work plan, the key activities that we have there is the planning meeting and the step-down training for our members, then the advocacy visits to stakeholders, then the market sensitization. So those are the items that we have on our work plan. And you know, in Oyo State, a new governor and executives and members of the House have just been sworn in. And so we made attempts at getting them to buy into what we are doing. So we wrote advocacy letters. Let me start from the planning meeting. At the planning meeting, we were able to delineate on the areas that we are going to work, especially when it involves the market sensitization. We have 33 local governments in Oyo State, and it's just not possible for us to work everywhere. And Indepumon has charged us to work across the 3 senatorial districts. We have the Oyo North, Oyo South, and the Oyo Central. So what we did at our planning meeting was to delineate. We tried to pick from each of these senatorial districts. We picked two local governments, 2 market areas in each senatorial district. So we have 6 local governments and 6 markets to work on. So that was what we did at the planning meeting. And we assigned people. So we had 6 teams to work within these 6 areas. So we have people within these teams. We have 6 teams altogether. Now, to the step-down training. What we did was to organize a step-down training to disseminate the endowment resource that I have, gained from in Lagos. We attended 2 trainings in Lagos State where endowment took us through its own style of training people. And I actually say here that I benefited immensely from the wealth of experience and the caliber of resource persons presented to us. And I felt this should not be my own affair alone. Other platform members should benefit from this resource. It's a very great resource. And why are we doing that? Is to build their capacity and increase their knowledge to be able to engage on tax issues. Because the members are drawn from various fields, so we need to really, build their capacity. Having done that, I think we were able to achieve success on that because platform members asked valid questions, clarifications, and it was a very beautiful session. And apart from that, one of the coordinators, the principal coordinator of the platform post, equally handled a session on advocacy, and he even gave books on advocacy to platform members free of charge. So we moved to our advocacy. And the areas we set out to go within the state actors, we set out to meet the Board of Internal Revenue Service, which is key to our campaign and advocacy. Then the new governor of the state, we really wanted to meet him, and also the Speaker of the House and the relevant House committees on economic and fiscal issues. Now, we achieved great success concerning Board of Internal Revenue Service. I want to say specifically here that for the past few years that we've been working on tax, and we've been leading advocacy to the Board of Internal Revenue Service, we have not been allowed that with the development training and all that, all the resources we've had, we went to the Board of Internal Revenue, and also with the new government, they want to stop. We were able to see the chairman of the Board of Internal Revenue Service of the state, and also we were able to meet the man, the director in charge of informal sector. So we held a meeting with them. Unfortunately for us on that day, the people that have been contracted to automate the tax payment system of Oyo State came for a meeting. And when the man, the chairman of the Board of Internal Revenue Service, listened to us, what we've been doing, the man had to say, you are doing what we are supposed to do. You are really helping us, and I believe in your work. We are going to work together. We were able to gain that commitment from him. And that day, he even asked his director to write his name, his phone number, that anytime we have any issue to see him or something, we should just call him directly. He said, no letter writing this time around. We are partners in progress. And he asked, thank you. He asked the director of the informal sector to also add his own number so that we can now lie together. Then he ordered us to meet those from the InterSwitch to hold a brief meeting with us on how to move the informal sector forward in Oyo State and how to capture them into the tax net of Oyo State, because he said less than 15% of people in the informal sector are paying tax. So we have about 85% not paying at all. So when we had a brief meeting with them, they were able to buy into our idea and into our module, the module of tax to service. What they had in mind after automating the system is that they want to put in place a system of lottery. Then we told them, well, if you like, you can put a system of lottery, but the idea we are bringing to you people is a tax to service. So you were able to lecture them on what tax to service means. You are doing it for the generality of the people within the market space, within the public center, where they are paying tax. So we will just, then the man said, these ideas are great ideas and they are ready to buy into it. And the chairman gave his commitment that day that anytime they want to have meeting with the InterSwitch and with the Board of Internal Revenue, that we will be invited for ideas. He said the InterSwitch are about to start public sensitization. I said we are already there. He said we are already there. So he said anytime they are having their public sensitization, we will all be there. Then I now asked him for commitment on the sensitization that we are presently doing, that we need government presence in the sensitization that we are doing. How do we get government presence? We need their personnel to follow us to those venues and talk on the side of government. We will say our own on what we are doing. We will try to sensitize the people, and you at the receiving end should also build public trust by telling them this is what you are going to do for the people where they are paying taxes. So I think we are able to achieve that. Then we moved to the office of the governor, but we were not able to see the governor till now because he was busy preparing all his profile for his 100 days in office. But they promised that after the 100 days in office, that we will get a call from them to attend an advocacy meeting with the governor. Then the House of Assembly, when we got there, we were able to meet the clerk of the house He said she's a woman, Mrs. Oyeniran. She said she was not aware of the letter. And we brought out a copy of the letter, and she said there is no problem about it, that they are going to work on it and invite us for a session with the relevant host committee and the speaker. Concerning our sensitization, market sensitization, we have not really started the sensitization per se. What we did was to first of all go for pre-market sensitization meeting with the market leaders. We want the leaders to buy into what we are doing first. We can't just jump into the market and start sensitizing people. So we have series of meetings with market leaders in 5 markets. We have done that. And the market leaders, they are bought into what we brought. And hand with what the governor said. He said in a statement, in his inaugural statement, he said, Oyo I'm quoting him, Oyo will certainly break the poverty barrier when we all pay tax. That is the statement made by Governor Seyi Makinde, the executive governor of Oyo State. So we now told them the plans that the government has for them, and the market leaders in their different sectors said they are going to step down the information we brought, and they are going to set up a day that we will attend. We will have our public sensitization. So that is what we have been able to achieve, and we have IEC on our work plan. We've been able to develop IEC. We have our banners, the backdrop banner and the upright banner, to be taken to formal gathering. If you want to go to the office of the governor, you want to take photographs with the governor with a banner, we can't start looking for room. So we make the upright banner that can be erected within a twinkle of an eye, and we can take our photographs with them as evidence. Apart from that, we've been able to make flyers saying that people are ready to pay, calling on government to do the needful. So, thank you very much. That is how much we have been able to.
I'm a tax consultant. I was first invited to present a paper in Lagos on tax matters. When I got there, I sat down and saw what was happening. I saw young men and women talking about this NGO, different things that they were doing, tax justice, budgets, monitoring group. And I said, here I am with experience, with training, and I'm doing nothing. I was really, really challenged. And then I went back. And then a lot of things I learned that is not taught in the classroom. As a matter of fact, I still want to come back and learn budgeting. Because what I learned, the paper one, I still can analyze the budget properly and understand what is happening. But what we're getting here are things that are down to it and broken down for the common person to understand. So I went back, and even though I don't really have a ministry because I'm in the private sector to say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I was much more aware of what is happening around me. And then when I see people going the wrong way, I offer free advisory services. Say for instance, I know by virtue of training that you're supposed to be doing this or doing that, especially as it relates to taxation, accounting, keeping your records, and all that.
Oxfam and then were so magnanimous to give us a extend invitation to Internal Revenue, Auditor General, House of Assembly, Ministry of Economic Development. And that workshop on taxation was very good. During the workshop, I remember many presentations were made, and later came out and showcased what they have done to achieve a level of success. So we were there. And when we came back, we have to address some issues, some problems that we have with that system in Equality. Number one problem we identified was multiple taxation. And the lecturers and the tax authorities explained how they have been able to address those problems. So when we came back, we met with our boss, the commissioner, the chairman, internal revenue, and discussed. Also, during our regular monitoring exercise, we monitor all MDAs. We monitor internal revenue. We also recommended that those things should be done. Before, MDAs used to collect taxes because some of these taxes are domiciled in some MDAs. For example, in our ministry, we used to collect economic development levy. Environment will collect environmental sanitation and all the waste management. But now, all those things have been tailored to one MDA, internal revenue, because we gave that recommendation during stakeholders meeting and during our monitoring and evaluation exercise. The direct effect, because they gave me 5 minutes, direct effect is that number one, multiple taxation has been addressed. You will not say monetary economic development comes, internal revenue, environment. So now, only one agency is handling that, and that has really helped. The other impact is increase in revenue. When they gave us second quarter report, we noticed that they have almost surpassed what they made as total revenue last year. So that is the impact we have seen. It is really, we want to thank them and Oxfam for what they did, and I think they will do more to help the state. Thank you very much.